Philadelphia, get ready to be inspired. If you need help finding the light in the darkness, don't touch that dial. Let's navigate life through the lens of hope with Scotty P. Inspirational speaker Scotty P speaks the importance of mental health in society and encourages techniques to overcome the everyday mental health obstacles that hold us back in life. It's not just inspiration, it's Scotty P inspiration.
What's going on, everybody? It's your host here, Scott Prendergast, with the Scotty P Inspiration Show. I hope you all are doing well today, and I hope everybody's finding a way to try to navigate their life through the lens of hope. I want to thank you all for being here today. I am, of course, Scotty P, your host, and this is my show, and I'm super excited for this episode because, as usual, I really do think that there's going to be some positive takeaways for you from what we're going to be talking about today, and I think this topic in particular is something that every single one of us at some point throughout the daily basis, kind of deals with. So I'm super excited about that. Real quick, if you just want to watch any past episodes or check out more of my content, few ways you can do it. You can go on any major podcast platform and you can search The Scotty P Inspiration Show, and you can find my shows there that way. Or you can go on my YouTube channel, which is Scotty P Inspiration. You can watch the videos that way. And of course, for more content, all things Scotty P Inspiration, go on scottypinspo.com or check me out on social media. Those links are also on the website. Okay, got it. Good. Nice. Without further ado, everybody, we're going to dive right into it because my whole goal for this show is to take something quick and make it into something that's going to help you throughout your day right here, right now, today. Maybe you're watching this on your lunch break. Maybe you're about to start work. I don't know what you're doing, but the point is, I don't want to drabble on here. I want you to be able to take this stuff, run with it, and make a difference in your life so you can navigate your life through the lens of hope and rediscover the resilience within yourself. Let's go. Okay, so today, what I want to talk about is how to turn our emotional pain into purpose. And we hear this a lot, right? People are always saying, okay, find a way to find your purpose in life. What's your purpose? What's your purpose? What's your purpose? And I think a lot of us are searching for that purpose constantly. You know, some of us have found it, some of us haven't, and that's okay. Everybody's on a different timetable. Everybody's on a different schedule, and you can't compare yourself to others in that realm because there's so many other factors going on, right? But when we hear how to turn our pain into purpose, I think there's a missing part of it. And the missing part is passion. You know, it goes pain and purpose, but what are we missing? Passion. And I kind of think about it like this. Where there is pain in our lives, there is passion nearby, right? Because the whole point with pain is usually it's something that we care about. And when we care about something, there's passion behind it, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a career, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a hobby, whatever it is. When there's pain, you can bet your bottom dollar that nearby there is passion. The issue here is that sometimes we don't know what that passion is. We get so so caught up in the pain that we're experiencing or feeling in the current moment that we're blinded and cannot see that there's a passion there. Right? Now, when I say passion, people are probably like, okay, Scott, well, passion's a good thing and pain isn't, so how can they go hand in hand? Well, let's listen here. The passion is what's fueling the pain, because there's a passion that there is a desire to be more in your life, to have more in your life, to be better in your life, to have a situation work out a certain way. And when it doesn't, that's where the pain comes in. Right? Because maybe what you wanted to happen didn't work out, or this closeness with this person didn't work out, or trying to do something that you put a lot of time into and, passion into didn't work out. There comes the pain, right? So I think about the 3 P's for this talk here. We got our pain, we got our purpose, and we got our passion. We're going to talk about all 3 and how they go together here, because they really do. They really, really, really do. Now, you'll notice that for today, I didn't start with a quote, mainly because I didn't feel like it. And I don't like being put in a box, so I didn't want to do a quote today. But if you're wondering, where's this quote to start? There is none today. We were just going right into it. So I hope everybody could appreciate it. There might be a quote next week. We'll see. Just wanted to toss that point out there. But anyways, everyone, back to what we're talking about here. The fact is, every single one of us in some way is dealing with some emotional pain right now. I'm not going to try to speculate what that pain is for you because it is different for everybody and it varies on a lot of different factors. But everybody, in some sense, is dealing with emotional pain. Whether it's a pain of a loss, whether it's a pain of, your past and thinking about it, or whether it's the pain of what you don't yet have, there is pain there. And I heard one time in a movie, I really don't remember which one it was, but one of the characters was talking about so much of the pain that you have comes from wanting. And I thought about that. I was like, that does kind of make sense. Not all the pain comes from that, but some of it really does. The wanting, the waiting, the I don't have yet, or look what I had and do not have now. That's where a lot of this pain can stem from. And tied in with that wanting is what? Oh, yeah. Passion. Which brings us full circle to back what I was saying before, that where there is pain, there is passion. But what's important for us to understand is that we need to discover that passion that's lying underneath the pain. That passion that's buried underneath the pain, that is fueling that pain. We have to discover what that is. Because when we figure out what that is, we're going to be able to use that pain and channel it to help find our purpose. All right, so it's passion, it's pain, it's purpose. But if we do not know the passion, we're never going to be able to take that pain and turn it into purpose. It's just going to stay as pain, 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 and us saying, where's my purpose, right? We've got to be able to channel it, and we channel it through that passion. So for you, the listener today, obviously, like I said, I don't know what you're going through, but I want you to consider this. I want you to think about this. Think about the areas that are causing you the most pain in your life, most emotional pain in your life right now. Okay, I want you to think about what those areas are, and I want you to really think, where is that pain stemming from? Is it stemming from a passion, a desire for you to be closer with someone? Is it stemming from a passion for you to want something else in your life? Is it stemming from a passion for you wanting to be something else, wanting to be better? Where is it coming from? Really be introspective and think about that. Okay, now this might take a little bit. I'm not going to say you're going to take a pen and pad and write down in 3 seconds, oh, I found out what my passion is. Yeah. No. It may take some bit. It may take some reflection for weeks, months, I don't know, maybe even years, okay? But I want you to start getting this type of thinking going on in your head, because when you do this, you're going to look at your pain differently, and you're going to address it differently because you know there's passion behind it. And that passion is something that can help you to find that purpose, right? So think about that, listeners. Again, I'll repeat it again. And what I want you to do at some point, either now, at the end of the show, whenever you get a chance, look at the areas that are causing you the most emotional pain in your life right now and try to figure out where it's coming from and where that passion is behind it. All right? Something for you to keep in mind. So as we're kind of talking about this here and we're going a little bit deeper into here, I'm looking at some of the stuff that I wrote down from my notes. And most of it is really just talking about how pain and passion are going hand in hand, right? And I think a lot of times we don't necessarily want that though, right? We want the passion. We hear about the passion people have in their lives. Look at the passion that guy plays with on the court. Look at the passion in that artwork. Look at the passion for that accounting. I don't know if you have a passion for accounting, but maybe you do, right? It's different for everybody. And we all want that passion, and we want that end result of where people can say, wow, they're dedicated. Wow, look at them. Wow, they go through it. I hear it all the time. I hear constantly when I'm speaking in front of people. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a professional speaker. That's my main job. This is just something I do on the side, being a podcast host as well. I hear it almost every time. Wow, you're filled with so much passion, Scott. You have such great passion when you're on your stage. I want to have passion like that. And my response is always, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it, yada, yada, yada. But underneath, I'm like, do you know what it took to get this passion? It took a whole lot of pain. It took a lot of dark days. It took a lot of struggling. It took a lot of just being brought to my wit's end day after day after day, being in a really low place before I was able to discover the passion, which is for me to help others to overcome their own struggles, just like I was able to overcome mine. But I wasn't able to get that passion, that fiery passion to speak in front of people overnight. I had to go through a lot of emotional pain to get there. And this is not going to be an episode where I talk about my story and all the things I went through. I've done episodes like that. That's for another time. This is about you, the listener, right now. So I'm not going to get into my story. But that pain that I went through, and for as long as it lasted, years, mind you, that was all 100% necessary for me to be able to allow this passion to touch other people and help other people. Right? But I had to make a decision at some point. When I was in that pain and going through that emotional pain, I had to make a decision to say, okay, am I just going to stew here? Am I going to stay in this pain and say, this isn't fair? Woe is me. Oh, I guess I'll never be anything. I guess I'll never get out of it. Am I going to stay in this pain, or am I going to peel back the layers, search a little bit deeper to try to discover the passion that's behind it? And that's what I did. I looked at every part of my life that was causing me pain. I said, where is this coming from? Why do I feel this all the time? What is the issues here? Now, sure, there was a lot of variance of different issues, but by peeling it back, I was able to get to the core of what was really going on. And passion was driving all of those things. Passion was driving me wanting to be something, wanting to find out my future, wanting to find that right person, wanting all these different things. That passion was there, which was good, and I was going for it, but I didn't see the results yet, which led to the pain, right? Which led to the uneasiness, which led to the struggles. And again, I'm not going to go into that. That's for a story for another time. But I had to make that decision, and you have to make that decision that with that emotional pain that you got right now today, there is a choice. You can either say, hey, this is an opportunity for me. You can look at that pain and say, there's something else here. I'm going to explore this. Or you can look at that pain and you can stay stagnant. And you can self-destruct, and you can use that pain as a weapon to put against everybody else to say, look what I've been through. Look what these people did to me. Look at this. Look at this. You don't have it. I do. Look at me. There's a choice. There is a choice when it comes to that pain and what you're going to do next. You don't always have a choice and experience that pain. There are things that happen to us in this life that are totally out of our hands and are not fair and that you do not deserve at all. That is all 100% true. You better bet your bottom dollar. But guess what? You do have a choice on how you're going to react to that pain. Are you going to dive deeper into it and just try to discover that passion that's there or that passion that comes from it? Or are you going to sit there and stay stagnant and blame everybody else for what happened? I'm just being real with you. Just being real. And that's something I can't answer that question for you. That's a decision that you have to make. Now, I will say this. I'm not the type of motivational speaker that's like, get over it, get up, go, go, go. There's a certain style of people that like that, and that's great, but that's not me. So what I want to say is that you do have to allow yourself to feel the pain that you're feeling. You can't just bottle it up. You can't just say it's not there. You can't just say, shut up, get over it, go. I mean, you can maybe, but that might not work for you. So allow yourself to feel it. Understand what you're truly feeling. Empathize with yourself. Feel that feeling. Yeah. But just remember, at some point, it's time to do something about that feeling. It's time to dive deeper. It's time to turn that pain into a passion or find the passion that's causing that pain and make a change. And I hope that's something that you can really take from this, listeners, because I think that lesson right there is something I'm still working on. I've been working on for years. I've admittedly done better with it, but I still need help with it. But I think when I really learned that and continue to try to apply that lesson, it's made life a lot different for me. And it's made me look at things a lot differently. And so I hope that's something you can take from it as well, and making that choice and finding out what that is for you. So as we're kind of moving on here, I'm looking more through at this topic. And I love this topic because, like I said at the beginning, this is something that we all deal with just on a daily basis, pain and the purpose. I had somebody ask me once, Scott, what do I do if I've found my passion, I've had my pain, but I don't know what the purpose is yet? That's a good question. And admittedly, I don't really have a one solid answer to that question to say how to find your purpose. I mean, that's a self-guided journey. You know, I could give you ideas, I could give you tips, but that's not something that I have. But what I can tell you is that before you find that purpose, you're going to have to go through pain and you're going to have to discover your passions. It's kind of like an equation, right? Like y equals mx plus b, right? People or something. I just remember some random math equation or something. You have your one thing, you plug in the other thing, you get the other thing. But in most equations, it was always solve for x, right? So x might be for you passion, finding out what that is. X might be for you purpose, trying to find out what that is. X might be with you pain. Maybe you're living your life like, man, I don't have any emotional pain. This is great. I mean, I would say that's probably a lie, but maybe you're like, okay, very little emotional pain. You know, so you plug and chug these three different things: passion, pain, purpose. You got to find out what all three are at some point, though. But once you discover two, you can really put them together to find the third one. All right. And I find that most of the time, the way it goes is we feel the pain, and then we discover the passion, and then we find the purpose. But your journey might look a little bit different. And guess what? That's okay too. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay. So going a little bit deeper here, we got a few minutes left of the show before we wrap things up. Let's see. Let's see here. What I really want to say when it comes to this topic is I don't want us to shy away from the emotional pain that we feel. It is so easy when you're feeling emotional pain to just do everything in your power to leave the situation that's causing that. Right? It's so easy to do everything in your power to just shut down because you're feeling this pain from a certain situation and just say, I just am going to put a wall up here and just not, I'm out of here. I'm shutting down. I'm closing off, right? It's easy to do that. And I understand that 100%. And I've done that before in my life too. But I found that if you can really do the opposite, and instead of shutting down and closing off and fleeing all the time from that pain, if you can just dig in a little bit more, if you could dive a little bit deeper, if you could find a little bit more strength on the inside to see through that pain, to realize that there's something good that can come from it, to realize that there's something that is going to add to something else within you that is going to create something beautiful. If you can start to understand it like that, it's going to make your situation a lot more tolerable. It's not going to get rid of the pain, but it's going to help you to view the pain as an agent of change that is going to help you, sculpt you, turn you into something better than something that is detracting and taking away from you. You know, I said in one of my previous episodes before, I don't admittedly remember which one it was, but I said that we have a choice on how to view a difficult time in our lives, right? And that choice is you can either view that difficult time as if it's causing everything in your life to fall apart, or you can view that time in your life as if it's causing everything in your life to fall into place, right? It's the same situation, but it's a different outlook and a mindset on how we view it. And that same thing goes for here with dealing with your emotional pain. And there are some people that are going through unimaginable emotional pain. And before you can even go through this process of what we're talking about, you may have to really just get some help to deal with some of that pain. You may have to go to a therapist. You may have to seek out someone to talk to. You may have to just find a way that you can begin to get yourself level because of that pain. Okay. And in that case, then after you felt that, then the next step is everything we're talking about. So again, it's different for everybody, but what is the same regardless is that pain doesn't have to be an ending point. That pain doesn't have to be the end of your story. That pain does not have to be the thing that says, okay, that's where I just gave up and then just started walking through life as a zombie. No. It doesn't have to be that way. The pain is but a step to the next level in your life. The pain is something that is going to take you over here instead of back there, but you got to be willing to view it that way. You have to. Because otherwise it's going to be a roadblock that you'll never get past, and you'll start camping out at a closed door, so to speak. We have to learn to change how we view that emotional pain in our lives so that we can discover that passion and find that purpose that we're so desperately seeking and coveting, right? But it begins with changing how we're going to view that pain. And I hope that's something that maybe can strike a chord with you a little bit, or something that you can say, hey, that's what I need to work on today, or that's what I've been working on, but this validates it, right? That's the whole point of this show. And that's the point of this episode. And that's why we have Scotty P Inspiration here to help you to navigate through your life through the lens of hope, not through the lens of pain. Because if anyone who's ever seen different lenses before, anyone who wears glasses or has ever used a bunch of different magnifying glasses, you can see that each one, like for glasses, the prescription, some are blurry, some are like way too focused, some are not, then some are just right. But you got to find out that lens for you that's just right. For me, that's the lens of hope. I've tried it on and it's made such a difference in my life, and it's made a difference in a lot of other people's lives too when they put that lens of hope on. Sometimes you got to combine that hope with a little something else too. But putting that lens of hope on is, I think, one of the first steps to being able to really change how you're viewing your life and what goes on in it. So consider that, audience. So everybody, as we're going to wrap this up today, I want to really leave you with this. How do you turn your emotional pain into purpose? While we answer that question, we discover that passion. That passion in our lives that lies underneath that pain, that is fueling that pain. and we identify what that passion is, we find it, we harness it, we add that pain that we felt to it, and that guides us to where that purpose is. And once we start walking in our purpose, once we find out what that purpose is, you combine that with the pain that you felt and what you've learned from it and the passion that you have to make a difference. You put those things together while you're walking in your purpose. Whew, look out. There's some good things that are going to come from that. There's some people and some lives that are going to be changed by that. And you're already on your way to that. But the first thing that you need to make sure that you're going to do is that you're going to change how you're viewing your pain and make the decision to dive deeper, to discover the passion that's behind it, rather than staying stagnant in what that pain's making you feel right now. So everybody, thank you so much for another great episode. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Look forward to having you come back again next week. Feel free to catch my stuff on social media. Follow me on social media, Scotty P Inspo, all that, Scott Prendergast, my website, scottypinspo.com, to check out more content that I have. So thanks so much again, everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Until next time, this is Scotty P signing off.